class, number 4, Uptown Swing time. We did triple pushes for like a billion hours, I think, but it got a lot better. So we're trying to get away from triple pushes that are kind of abrupt and stiff, where the followers start to stop themselves because things feel a little too rough. We want to invite the followers to come in, not stop themselves, and then the leaders push them out. What's important is that we do a couple things. Up top, we want to, yes, keep our elbows in front of us. Don't be afraid to push with your arms, but at the same time, we don't want to push exclusively with our arms. We want to make the connection from our bodies. So you need to push enough with your arms to keep your elbows here, but we're going to let the elbows, the hands squeeze out from there, like when we threw the goo up against the wall and went splat. Same idea, the pushing squeezes us out. We don't draw it up like we're doing some fancy curtsy, right? So, up top, that's what we got. Leave the elbows in front of us, if we can. It's okay if you go back, but I think it's harder to make the feeling good that way. It's easier to make the feeling good when the elbows are forward and then the hands squeeze out the sides. For the footwork, we want the followers to start stepping almost just in place, and then she's going to turn around in the middle of her triple step. That's only because of what I asked for, and what I asked for is step, step, triple step, triple step. And I generally don't do the triple step on the first one of the swing, and I'm sure, push you can. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a little easier to do this feeling that I'm trying to get you to work for if you hang out back on this leg just for a second and then go forward. And it's a real trick to get to this back leg without tipping way back. We actually want to be sitting a little bit, and again, usually we think of like resisting as this, but actually this is actually resisting, and it's resisting in a way that invites her to keep coming instead of asking her to stop. So I ask you to come back. Boom, boom, ba, boom, ba-da, boom, boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da. It's helpful when you watch yourself in a mirror and then you can see what you're doing. Like when we do that, we do it better. And the other thing, we want to have a little bit of orientation like this. I go like this, she goes like that, so that her left side is what's coming at me a little bit more. This is all followers' weak side, of course. So followers, you need to get a little practice connecting from here a little bit more than from this side. Not 100%, but maybe like 60-40 or something like that. Okay? Get a little bit more energy on that side. And then the idea, again, just like on a swing out, where we stretch the rubber band and we move the whole rubber band, once we're here, we're sort of like squeezed like a spring, then I move the whole spring, right? So it's this feeling that moves the follower as opposed to my hands doing it. And most of the sort of like down up work we did, that's from the legs, and I saw all this sort of steering, a lot of it, the leaders would do this, lots of arm movements where they're like, yes, move my body. And not a lot of body work going on. This is the movement. And it's tricky and it's really subtle, and we're trying to exaggerate that feeling so that you guys can learn to connect a different way. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Last step maybe. Let your wrists sort of break. And by that I mean, vroom on your Harleys, both of you guys, let your palms push against each other just with your fingers in between. That's a little bit more relaxed feeling, it will feel softer to you. So what we built out of that was this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 7. On that, she still goes for the triple push. I catch her triple step and twist it towards me, and then I turn it around. So my footwork is like a swing out. Her footwork is step, step, triple, triple, then step, step, watch it. We'll go slowly. 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7. Station footwork is 1, 2, triple, step, triple, twist, step, that. Good. Did you guys get that? Good. Last bit's a step, step on the turn. Right. So we do a little bit different footwork, but it works. It gets us to the right place. The idea here is that I need to catch her on 5, and then 5 is a spring to 6, which is a spring to 7, 8. Okay? One more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Spring, spring, 7, 8, bounce. So that's something to play with. There's a billion different things to do out of that. But the main thing we're working on is just trying to get the push feeling as good as the pull feeling. The pull feeling, leverage, swing off, that kind of stuff, you guys are getting pretty darn good at. The push, I think, comes second. And it takes a little time to work because we only have this distance between us to make it good. And that can be a little bit abrupt sometimes. So get some practice, try it out. Thank you guys so much for coming. We start up again October 5th. I hope to see you guys all there. Up top, side.